There's a hunger for knowing if your product is authentic. Where is it from? What farmer grew the plant? And for knowing whose hands made it.
We have the opportunity to choose materials that will bring a narrative into a space. Is there a need to bring energy and life into a space? Or is there a need to be grounded, to feel comforted and secure? And color and materials will reflect these attitudes and this sort of intersection of different currents running through society.
The full circle process is about connecting the world. It's about connecting an interior designer in New York to a crochet maker in Mali. We
began early on to search the globe for different organic, handcrafted materials to encapsulate. Right away, we discovered these artisans in local communities that had beautiful crafts that people had no connection or access to. And so the full circle design process became about bringing those crafted products to our market.
From an early point in my career, I was very interested in helping people and in development, international development. I want to have an impact on lives that haven't been as fortunate. And doors open and I walk through them.
DOSI has deep experience with training them and teaching them how to transform their products into consistent panel designs.
You have to simplify things. You have to build a bridge between what you want and what they can do. And it's about marrying good design with these communities that can implement your ideas.
One particular craft that we discover may not look at all like it would fit into what's happening here in the US. So how are you going to bring those two together and make it really appropriate and desirable for our clients? We begin with developing a set of new themes that we find relevant for design. DOSI begins by compiling a list of the artisans, the regions, their crafts.
Raw materials, places, techniques. We made an atlas of the world and carved it up into Latin America, Asia, Southeast Asia, and Africa. So we anchored the artisan groups to work with and the materials to work with a design brief that showed a variety of ideas.
Then the dialogue begins, and DOSI and my team, we get together and we start to pair up. We say, okay, how is that going to fit into a hotel on Madison Avenue or a chic corporate financial center in Chicago? We say this pattern theme of intersecting lines would look really interesting in, say, this silk that we can find in Nepal.
The people that are involved in making Silk Connection range from farmers to the harvesters of the leaves, to those who care for the silkworms, to the ones who unreel the silk cocoons, and then the artisans who manipulate the ribbons that we use to make Silk Connection.
And it just really hits the right note with what people want in interiors, which has been fabulous for the Nepalese community and really increasing the production that we purchase from them. This group in West Africa, they were very skilled at handmade crocheted lace. So we spent a lot of time working with them to figure out what is a new look and feel that you could get from the same exact craft.
What can we do that shows an interlacement but has this fluid feeling and this more modern feeling of deconstruction? So we had to compromise a little bit, and that's when we came up with the idea of doing a simple diamond and then working to manipulate that diamond net. And this became Unravel.
We realize in this process how we've become accustomed to working, which is quick turnaround times. Here, working with these artisans, a lot of times they don't have direct means of communication.
You know, it's just a different world where the electricity doesn't work, where you have to queue up for water. A lot of the regions, there are no roads, so they actually porter on their backs, piles of these fibers.
In speaking of color development, we are used to being able to dial in the exact red shade that we want, but working with the artisans, the red may be the only one that's available from a local berry. And really it's not a struggle. In the end, it's just a different way of working, and it's learning to think differently and just create new processes.
There's no way to say how valuable this work is for the groups that we work with. It's between having no livelihood and actually putting food on the table, sending their kids to school.
It's been incredibly rewarding to be a part of something that is just so much bigger than what I could ever be doing with a normal material development process.
We can name the people we're working with and see the impact on their lives. I think that's why people are so excited about Full Circle. To see how ethics, economics, art, aesthetics, agriculture, how it all intersects. I think people hunger for that. You don't want a product that's made by a machine. You don't know where it comes from and whether it's adding to the problem or making the world a better place.